Okay, this video is to provide you instruction for the Excel COVID by country calculations assignment. And first thing you do is going to click this Excel file, and it should download down here. If you don't see it down here, you'll simply go to your folder, download folder, and then you'll find it up here. Open that guy up, and it will look like this. Now, let's see how large this data set is. So we're going to hold down our control key and hit the down arrow. And let's do that again. Hit it twice. There we go. Now it went down to the end of the data, which is row number 227. Country 225. So there's 225 countries in this data set. But as far as rows on this spreadsheet, it's 227. Let's go back up to the top. Do not scroll up with your scroll ball. Let's be efficient and learn how to use Control Home. All right. So anytime you hit Control plus the Home key, brings you up to the upper left corner, A1, cell A1. All right, where did we get this data from? Let's go take a look. Right up here, this website called Worldometer. And if you go to worldometer.com, I think it just redirects you to this one, worldometers.info. Variety, it's actually an interesting website to go look at this data, but we're going to focus on the coronavirus data today. We're going to scroll down, and I'm simply showing you where I got the data. So I highlighted all this table, copied it, and I pasted it into the Excel spreadsheet that you opened. Now, if you take a look here, see this is the sorting button. So right now it's being sorted by total cases, and that's why it shows USA as number 1. So that's not total death. We're gonna sort it later. So USA does not have the highest death count of all countries per million, or I should say per capita. And we'll demonstrate that here in just a minute. If you wanted to sort it here, you can sort on different columns up here, and it sorts it. But let's go back to Excel, and we're going to cut down this data. We're going to make it a little more user-friendly to just get the information that's going to provide us usable info that helps us evaluate how we in the United States are doing compared to other countries in fighting COVID. All right. First thing we're going to do is delete column A. Make sure you have a down-facing arrow up here. Do not click down here. Make sure you're up here. Click, and it highlights the entire column. Right mouse click, and delete that guy. All right. Now, total cases. We don't really care about that, but let's keep the data. We just don't want it to be over here up against the left, so I'm going to do a right mouse click on that column. Again, make sure that you do the right mouse click up here over the letter B. If you're down here, it's only going to select a certain cell or two. So right mouse click up here so that it selects the entire row, or excuse me, the entire column. And then we're going to say cut, and over here in O, right mouse click, and insert cut cells. There we go. So notice it deleted it from over here, pasted it over here. Or it cut it and pasted. New cases, I'm going to simply right mouse click, delete. Let's see here, new deaths, total recovered, new recovered, active cases, serious critical. We are going to delete from C all the way to I. So I held down my mouse, dragged across, and right mouse click, delete. Now we're going to take total tests and tests per pop 1 million, highlight, right mouse click, cut, and paste, insert cut cells. There we go. So I right mouse click in order to get that menu that pasted. All right. Now we are looking at deaths, and here's population. So this is what we care about. Now let's get the world, because those are total numbers. Let's get this out of the way. We can do something called hiding. So I do a right mouse click, hide, and this is fun. Look at that, 1, then it goes straight to 3. So it just hid that column. I could hide any of these columns. I could hide all 3 of these. Right mouse click, hide. That way it's not deleted and you still have the data. So watch this. I highlight around the ones that are hidden. Right mouse click, unhide. You don't have to do that. I'm just showing you how you hide data, but I do want you to hide row number 2 to get that out of the way. All right, so now we're just looking at the countries, total deaths, population. We are going to do a right mouse click on B, insert, and now we have a blank column to work with. And we're going to say, type in deaths per capita, meaning basically it's based on population per person. So let's put our cursor here in cell B3, type in equals, click the equals to let Excel know that you're going to do a formula. We're going to take the total deaths divided by population. Notice I did not type in C3 or D3. You could if you wanted to, but I clicked on it just to ensure that I don't mistype it. Now when I hit enter, it should give me the answer, 0.0027. And what does that mean? It means if I were to multiply that by 1,000, it means there are 2.7 deaths. You don't have to do this. I'm just simply showing you. If I take that number, multiply by 1,000, it's saying there's 2.7 deaths per every 1,000 people. Or per every person, it's 0.0027 deaths. But to make it more understandable, we multiply 1,000 just to say that's 2.7 deaths out of every 1,000 people. All right, I'm going to delete that. All right, now this guy, we're going to keep this cell, this formula here, and now we're going to use the fill handle and fill this guy down. Now, if for some reason as you're dragging down you let go by accident and you stop before it's finished, no problem. You can just click on the bottom cell, use the fill handle, and keep going. And we should get down to 227. Okay, now I'm going to hit my control, hold down my control key, and hit home. Let's bring us back up. And now we want to sort this by deaths per capita. And let's see how the USA did compared to other countries. What was our death rate, basically? Was it higher, lower? Let's see what number where we end up. So first we're going to click this little upper left corner. Make sure you don't click the 1, don't click A. Make sure you click this corner up here and it selects all of the worksheet. Then we go to Data, Sort, and click on this. My data has header rows. That way, when I go here for the sort by, it puts in the names of these. And we're going to choose this one, deaths per capita. And we want it to sort from largest to smallest. Deaths per capita, largest to smallest. And a couple of these just didn't have numbers in here for deaths or population. So we're just going to highlight those two, delete those. And now it's sorted. Look at this one. If it's 0.0061, that means there were 6.1 deaths for every 1,000 people. That was Peru, so they had the highest death rate. Bulgaria, oops, these are active links, so it opens up the Worldometer page. This one had 0.0049, so that means there were 4.9 deaths for every 1,000, and so forth. Let's find the United States. Let's highlight this one. Okay, there's USA. We were number 20th. I'm going to go up to home. Actually, we aren't number 20th because that's what row number. So we're going to do an insert. Right mouse click, insert. And on Peru, we're going to start with number 1. They get the grand prize for having the most deaths. I shouldn't have, I'm not trying to make light of it, but they actually had the most deaths per capita. Now I highlighted, notice what I did, I highlighted 1 and 2, and then I can use the fill handle and it automatically increments. Isn't that cool? I'm just going to keep going all the way down to the bottom. And now we'll see if I do a control home, bring it back up, and it looks like the USA is at number 18. So we were ranked 18th as far as the worst death rate. But if you go down, let's go look at some of the countries that were low at less than us. You guys can browse through this, and it's interesting to see which countries had a lower death rate than us. Oh, Sweden. Did you know that Sweden had a death rate of 1.5 people out of every 1,000? But what's interesting about that is they did not lock down their schools for students under the age of 16. Anyone 15 and under was in school full-time, no distancing, no masks, just straight up normal school. They never locked down for kids 15 and under. And look at that, their death rate was lower than ours. That's an interesting stat. I'm not sure why. I'd have to go research that, but it's interesting to note. It looks like the United States did not do very good when you start comparing us to all these other countries. Our death rate was 18th in the world, which is much higher. Where's China? Let's do a Control F and find China. CHINA, hit enter. There's, okay, now a negative, when they multiply by exponent 0.06, that means move decimal place 6 places. So if you move this 6 places, that would be 3.2 deaths out of 10,000. So I don't know. Is the reporting accurate? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But according to the Worldometer, they did a heck of a lot better than we did. As far as death rates, Hong Kong did very well as well. Oops. And so you get the point. But here's the data that we're looking for. This is the end. Now you guys are going to turn this in because now we've got the data sorted by countries' death rate per capita. I'm going to go ahead and bold this top row just to make it look a little nicer and going to center it. All right, save your data to your OneDrive, and this is what you're submitting to me.